me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da. Crazy at this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. And I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. It's why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da.
Well, just hold on.
West African, mainly Liberian dishes.
How long has this business been in operation?
We've been in business for about 5 years now.
How has the cooperation of the community been?
It's been pretty much supportive, not just Africans, but also our brothers and sisters of the African American community also been supportive, as well as other African and even other nationalities. So far, so good. We've been having a lot of support from different ethnic groups and different nationalities.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Total Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. We woke up this morning to low 60 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island, and we're going up to upper 60s and 70s this day. Actually, we're going to be 70 degrees today. I think this might be the last day of the week we see 70 degrees, but be it what it is, it's going to be sunny. Enjoy it, okay? My topics for today are: 1, from 1980 to 2022, a call for justice in Liberia. And 2, is Henry Costa's senatorial bid threatened? Let me take a break, and we'll be back to check out my show. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, I'm at Kebe's African restaurant on the other side of Providence. And she is right here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kebe McCann.
Now, Kebe has been here for a while, and this is one of our Liberian restaurants. So, Kebe, tell us how long you've been in this spot and why you decided to get into business.
I've been in this spot for 14 years now. I decided to open this restaurant because of helping people, going out and feeding the homeless, and we need a place where the food be cooked. And I opened this restaurant. Since then, I'm still at the same place, 850 Admiral Street.
So how has the community responded to your effort?
Well, the community has responded greatly to my efforts. I do successfully feed the homeless, and people have embraced the business, and it led me to move forward to Liberia to open an orphanage for children in Liberia.
Wow, you have an
All
orphanage?
from this restaurant.
You're kidding me.
And because of the customer has been very nice to me and loyal to me, I was able to go to Liberia 3 weeks ago and open an orphanage in my late mother's name, Eugenia Bright.
Wow. Where's the orphanage?
In New Georgia, Liberia.
Wow. So what message do you have for your customers?
Well, my customers are very loyal to me, and they are very faithful. They always help me when we're doing the backpack giveaway for children every year, which will soon be coming down end of the month. And then we give the food away, the turkey and chicken in November. And because of the customer, all the tips they leave, and all the encouragement helped me to promote this business and do what I'm doing moving forward. So I love my customers, I love my neighbors, and I love everybody in general.
We thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you too. Let the people see the delicious food you're fixing here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. This morning, I'm in Seacom on Thornton Avenue at Sarcastic Suites. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you introduce yourself to us and tell us how long you've been here?
So my name is Nina Reed. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, but I've had the store here in I had it based in Rhode Island for 10 years, where I had my food truck, and this is our first year in Seaconk, Massachusetts. So we've been here for a full year as of August 19th.
So tell us about Sarcastic Suites.
So what to tell you about Sarcastic Suites? We started out as a food truck. We do custom orders, cakes, weddings, pickups, deliveries, birthday parties, colleges, fundraisers, churches, very important to me. We do all of those types of events, but then we were finally able to get a store through a lot of savings and fundraising and things like that here in Seaconk, Massachusetts. So we still service Rhode Island quite a bit, but we also service a lot of Massachusetts. And we have the bakery portion, which is Sarcastic Sweets, and the Alaska Treehouse portion of things, which is the breakfast, lunch, smoothies, cafe portion of things. So you can come in and do your work like an internet cafe, or you can have breakfast with your family, or lunch. We do breakfast all day, because in Alaska you can have breakfast any time of the day. Any time of the day could be breakfast. Pastries, movie, special orders.
This is fantastic. Ain't it good to be back? Now, let's talk about our country. From 1980 to 2022, a cry for justice. Why? My fellow Liberians, friends of Liberia, people who love Liberians, look at the state of our country. Look at the state of my people. We can't go forward. We can't come backwards. We're just going down, down, down because of the reasons I will give you into this lesson. One, rampant corruption cannot be stopped, seized, eliminated, nor prevented. It looks like it's a cancer in our flesh. It's just eating away at our country, at everything. Secondly, justice for me and for all other Liberians. My people were killed in 1980 for crimes against the Liberian people. What kind of crime they committed? If they committed crime in 1980, what will you call what the government and people are committing today against ourselves in our country? What will you call it? Because if 1980, those people were killed for crimes, what happened to our war? What our war for? What happened to all the people that have been dying since our war to today? Now, look at the Ministry of Justice just put out a letter asking the family of the three missing boys. When did the boys got missing? 6, 7, 8 months ago, 9 months ago? We had no reports on them. No investigation was done. They called them to identify the same body. I know it's the same body because what her name? Coyeta, Martina said the same thing. Our popular Liberian from the Costa show, Martina Conete, she's the Costa queen or whatever she calls herself. She said it is true. They called the family of the three missing boys to come identify one body they found a long time ago. The family rejected it. They said that wasn't their body. Now they're calling them again to do DNA on a body they've been sitting in the morgue for months. Isn't that the same body? When you took the body, when you found the body, it was fresh. They could identify it. They said, no, that wasn't the body. You put it in the morgue for months, and you admitted that you're taking the body out of the morgue, and you're writing the family, the mothers, to come identify this body and do DNA testing. Hey, man, people, this is a joke. What about our 3 auditors that got murdered? What is justice for them? What the police report for them? Now, even the World Bank, did you read the World Bank report in the newspaper this morning? In the Providence, I'd say Providence, in the front page Africa newspaper, where the World Bank said, look, the country is doing well. The country is growing. But there's no way for the country to grow when the human component index is so bad. What is the human component index? What is that? That has to do with education. That has to do with health. That has to do with the services the government providing to the people. All those things make up the human, what they call it? Let me get the right word for it. They call it the human capital index. I'm not an economist, so forgive me. I just talk on issues that matter. I ain't into this, all these terminologies and all of it. But that's a human capital index. Just because of that, our country can't grow. We take 1 step forward, we will take 3 steps backwards. Why? Because we are not prepared. When you're not prepared, when you have the leadership that cannot provide the preparation needed for the country to grow and progress and advance, we can't go nowhere. So even according to the World Bank and the World Report, our country grew. From what happened to us during the pandemic, that brought us down, our economy, everything down, because everything was shut down. Yes, we admit that. We have some problems in the world. But still, the stealing, the rampant corruption was still going on. So even though we recovered from the pandemic, we made a 5% recovery. Go read the newspaper. We made some kind of recovery from all our diamond and the exporting of our resources and things, and the increases on the world market, the monetary increases for the production of those goods made our country increase in production by 5%. We advanced economically by 5% because of all those factors that didn't necessarily come from us. It were world factors that impacted our nation that helped us grow by 5%. But in spite of that 5% growth, there is no real viability in our country because the growth cannot impact our country. The human capital index is too poor. The masses of Liberian people are not making money. Only a few people in the country getting money or the wealth of the country. So that means the wealth of the country is not perpetrating throughout the country. The people is not permeated. The people are not feeling the impact of our wealth. Only a few people doing it. And despite the fact that they're not even getting the wealth, the education is 50% bad. 50% a problem. Health, well, it was 20-something percent an issue. Social protection. We have no social protection in our homes. No electricity. That's one of the biggest problems. Beverages, the drinks that we drink, that the country is supposed to produce for the people to drink, like sodas and the different refreshment, the different fruit juices and things, was beverages not being produced. So right there, our economy is being impacted terribly. People growing fruits and things, they're not ready producing it because it can't come to us on the market. They cannot turn those raw products into juice and fruits and fruit juices and apple juices and all these kind of things like they do in America for us to consume that will build up our economy. So we're not using that aspect of our economy. And all of that impacts our human capital index. So like electricity alone, our whole nightlife is dead. Night business dead. Once you don't have electricity, what you do? You can only do daylight business. And even with a daylight business, it's limited. Because some stores are dark. Some places are dark. They need light. They need electricity to do their business, to conduct their fast transactions and things. People doing business all through the day, all through the night. That alone breaks our country down. So our country, we are the third country in the world suffering like that. Out of 174 countries in the world, we are the third at the bottom of the chain. This is not right for our people. We need justice, man. With all our resources, with all the means of development, you mean we are still suffering from this kind of thing because of bad leadership of our country? We can't continue on this trend. And what else? Look at our diplomatic mission, man. Look at what happened to our people in Korea, South Korea. That's a disdain and stain on the Liberian people. That's part of the human index. You know, these kind of criminal activities by our government that bring us down around the world. Now these people leave where they left, where they were England. Yes, the Liberian Maritime Mission in England left England and went to South Korea for training, maritime training. They get there, they want to sleep with the two Korean girls, 114, 116. That's statutory rape. The people charged them with rape. They say the girls identify themselves as 25 years old, and one was 25, said she was 25, the other said she was 20-something. Did they have identification? Did they present identification cards? Where did they meet? Where did they meet these girls? Where did they pick them up from? All these things have implication. You go on a diplomatic mission. You know, you got to be careful. You got to be very careful. Even in America, when our president go out and things like that, the people that go with the president got to be careful. You got to be careful. Look at the other day, they had the special security for Biden. No, that was Trump. Special security agent in another country misbehaving. They were on the news. The same sexual business. I think that was sexual business, some misbehavior. You can't do that. People watching you everywhere you go. Now, after they commit the act now, Moses Brown, one of the diplomats assigned to our maritime mission in England. It's a diplomatic position. So he's a diplomat in England. He's claiming diplomatic immunity because of the rape. But the Chinese people say, no, you can't get diplomatic immunity. You got to go to jail in this country. Why? Because your immunity status ends where it started, in England. That's where you have your status. It doesn't transfer with you when you come to training into South Korea. No, you are a diplomat to England. You're not a diplomat in South Korea. So we can't give you diplomatic immunity that you go back home. No, you got to be charged and prosecuted here. And you all know those South Koreans, they don't waste time with the laws. You all know what happened to that little American boy who went and sprayed graffiti all on the people and buildings and things like that. They killed him. They flogged him because that's part of their law. Flogging. They flogged him. America will cry, oh, diplomatic there, oh, he's not in citizenship there. The people say, we ain't got time for that. He should have thought about that before he went around spraying this thing on a building. This is not America. This is Korea. So you can imagine what they would do to our people there. And now the Liberian community in Korea finished joining the Koreans, condemning our diplomats and our team that went there. Why? Because they say it will revert to them. They will say, oh, you're Liberian people, all of you are the same, you come here, you won't rape our children. They will stigmatize them. It would be a bad stain on them in Korea. Everywhere they go, as soon as they say the Liberian, they say, oh, you're the one that raped that girl. No. And they will act back to them. They may not turn them away, but they will not show them respect. And that's what all of us like, respect. So the Liberia community going to demonstrate, they finally put up a statement against it and all. But these are the miscarriages of justice that hurt us. That hurt us. And our own countrymen, our government, the people of the world is telling us, man, you're not taking care of your people. They talk about social protection. They talk about, the three things that encompass this whole problem we're having with the World Bank and why our economy can't grow. We take one step forward, in spite of the fact that the world forces on the outside of the world will make us grow because we're producing rubber, we're selling logs, we're selling all these things, whether we're selling legally or not. But the outside forces increasing the money for these things. So impacting our country, impacting the wealth of our country. As long as we importing these things and people paying their taxes and paying their export duties and all that, our country will grow. But we cannot experience a sufficient enough growth when our country is so corrupt, the stealing is so rampant, the wickedness so bad that our people are suffering. The human resources of our country is not developed, experienced enough to conduct the businesses of our country. That's what we're failing. When you got education at 50% bad, the education level just at 50%, they can't go over that. It's a failing percentage. You got healthcare, 29%. We're so low. That's a failing percentage. Then you got human growth, 7%. Our children are growing, their minds failing. The growth, human protection, social protection. We're not protected. We don't have electricity. The president telling us to buy CCTV. That one of the biggest means of protection. With all the crimes and evil going on at night, look at all the rapes. What do you think the rapes, when they rape our children? During the day, maybe sometimes, but most of it is at night. Look at all the killings and things going. Is it during the day? Sometimes, but most of it during the night. That's because we don't have social protection. And what's the last thing here? Labor-intensive production. Our people we're not producing nothing in our country. When they talk about labor-intensive production, they talk about agriculture. They're talking about food. They're talking about machinery. They're talking about producing our own food and things like that. That's the primary thing of labor-intensive production. Can we feed ourselves? If we can feed ourselves, then we have the ability to feed other people. So these are the things that happen in our nation. You know, with our country trying to grow, man, this in spite of the incompetence and the low life of these government officials, our country, the world impact on our country is forcing us to grow in some ways. But we can't grow too much because we don't have the human resources. Our educated population is terrible. We don't have enough educated people. And no matter how you train people with vocational training, you do need educated people to guide them. You need educated people to they all just do vocational training and have no educated person to think above that vocational level of training. They can't guide us with all our vocational training. We're still stagnant because we not have the vision to see how to move ourselves into another realm of existence. And all these things cause us problems. So you see, we develop, whether we want to develop or not, as long as we're selling rice, as long as we're selling rubber, as long as we're selling cocoa, coffee, diamond, all those things, as long as we're longer with people looking for money for themselves, we'll make money. Our country will grow because of the world forces impacting us. But we can only grow so much and no further if our population is ignorant, our population not healthy, our population has no protection. We're backwards. We are backwards. That the people telling us you're too backwards. You can grow, but you can't grow far because you're too backward. And we are only 3 countries in the world like that. Too backwards to grow. Can you imagine that? Our country has come down so much that we're one of the 3 countries in the world that's so backwards. Our human capacity, the mentality of our people, so backwards. We're hurting ourselves. We can't grow. Even if the country growing, even if people throwing money into Liberia, we can't grow because the mentality of our people is not enough for us to go beyond the standard which we are today. And only 3 countries in the world like that, and we're one of them. Why? We came from greatness. Now we're so low to be one of the 3 countries in the world where the world telling us our human capacity is so low. Even if they throw all the money at us, we can't grow. What does that mean? We don't want to hear it. We don't want to forget about it and just move on. That is Liberian way. No, we can't do that. More people will die. Our country will be totally destroyed because of our own ignorance. And you see it right now. We're ready to go back into civil war because the people leading our country cannot even produce rice. Rice. Miami in Liberia cannot produce. Our president said Monrovia is Miami. So right now the Floridians are getting ready for Hurricane Ian. Is Liberia ready for the next rain? I ain't talking Monrovia. I ain't talking about hurricane. The next heavy rain is Miami in Liberia, which is Monrovia. The president said we Monrovia like Miami. So Miami coming to have a Hurricane Ian, the worst hurricane they have ever experienced with a direct hit in years. Can Liberia or Monrovia withstand the heaviest storm? I ain't even talking about hurricane. The heaviest storm we've seen this year. We can't. Miami in Liberia will get flooded. All the feces will be running in the street. And Miami get flooded too. They go through the same thing because they're around the ocean. The ocean can swell. They can have hurricanes affecting the ocean coming to land. All those things happen, but they can overcome it. You see, it doesn't endanger their lives to the point that it can kill them with waterborne diseases and all that kind of thing. No. And they got the means to clean the health care to care for their people. We don't. So those are the problems we're facing, man, from 1980 to 2022. No justice in our country. No justice for our people. Because we had justice, our country would be far better. The stealing will not be so terrible. Besides the stealing and the killing, our human capital index is killing us too. Because we are so far backwards. Even with payment of salaries, our payment scale for the poor people so low, and the rich people just taking everything in our country, the top government. People making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, while the masses of our people can't even get $500 Liberian dollars or $200 Liberian dollars. Well, what's wrong with our country? That's not justice. We need justice. We need justice. We need justice. That's my topic for today on this point. Okay, let me take a break, and we'll move on to something different. Not better, but... morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm here on Broad Street at 934 Broad Street at Sonia's Jewelry. I'm here with the proprietor. Sir, can you tell us your name and how long this business has been here?
Hi, my name is Pedro Feliz. We've been in business for more than 25 years.
And what kind of support do you get from the community?
Oh, we get a very strong support for the community. It's proved that we've been here for already 25 years. That means that we're getting very good support for the community, and we were very proud of the support that they provide to us.
Do you have any message for my people?
Yes, one of the messages that I want to give to my customers is that if you ever need service related to jewelry, or if you ever need to buy a present for your relative, just think about us, because when you think about us, not only you helping us, you also we're gonna be sure that you're getting the best piece of jewelry at the best price in the community. And also we have other kind of services. We have selection of watches, and we do custom pieces like name jewelry and name rings, a lot of stuff related to jewelry. We also do jewelry repair. If you ever need service or want new pieces, we're more than welcome, so we can do it for you.
Thank you very much, Pedro.
You're very welcome, Mr. Chesson.
Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Is Henry Costa's senatorial bid threatened? We know that in Nimba, during President Doe's county tour, the second tour he had in India, in Nimba sometime this year, one of our security officers was murdered. Melvin Early was murdered. He was shot in the head 3 times, in the stomach, and these people claim that he committed suicide, that he committed all the acts, shooting himself in the head 3 times, shooting his stomach, all of that. He did that by himself and committed suicide. So the case was rumored all through the country. We heard that one, Fina Bondo, President George Weah's confidant and lover, was the one who committed the murder. Why? Because Early was investigating George Weah on behalf of his wife, Claire Weah. And she had hired or solicited the help of Melvin Ellis Early. I call him Ellis because that's what the security called him. She had solicited the help of Melvin Ellis to investigate the affair between George Weah and Fina Bono. And while they were in Nimba, Fina Bono were in George Weah's room, and Ellis was hanging around there. When she came out, she saw Ellis, and apparently a picture of her was taken. And this has been so long, so I don't want to get the issue all clouded up. But after that, she found out that he was a snitch for Claire. So after she saw him around the room while they were in Nimba, she assumed that he was trying to investigate her and George Weah's relationship while they were in Nimba for Claire Weah. So they went after Early. They told them to arrest Early and all of that. He heard it. He escaped from the police headquarters where he was and left his gun and everything there and ran down the street towards the city. They followed him shooting all in the city, town. People heard the bullets going off and all. Then when they caught him, when somebody shot him right there. Then they took him in the room, and Fina Bono took the bullet and shot him in the head and all of that. So that was the story. Now, Costa was one of those who repeated that story. All of us who in the diaspora had it on with shows too. Now the government is going after Costa and saying Costa made that statement about that story about Fina Bono and all of that. He must retract his statement or face consequences. He didn't tell her what the consequences were, but he just said the government said he must retract his statement. So he now retracted it. So this is where we are. We know that Henry Costa is running to be senator in Liberia during the next election. He has already told us that by November, December, he returning home to Liberia to begin his campaign and bid. Now they're telling him, hey, you made a statement against government officials and the president that is not true. You need to retract it. And he's saying he's not going to retract it. So here we go again, trying to eliminate the opposition by any means necessary. Okay? All of us said that thing in America here. That story was on TV, testimony, all kind of things. Now they're going after Costa to retract his. This is injustice. This is the same injustice I'm talking about today that's been from 1980 to this very day. You kill our fathers, you say they committed murder, then we see the same thing practiced in Liberian society. It's upon all of us. All of us rejoice for those people being killed. All of us rejoice that we had changed our government. From the old Congo people, we had a chance now to make a good government. Then we end up worse and doing worse than what those people ever did before. It's not fair. It's not just. We can't kill people in the name of justice and do the same thing or worse than they did. I told you this from time immemorial. We know it because Gerald Rawlings told us it too. He told us he couldn't kill people in his country and ended up doing the same thing the people did because God will not bless us. And we need to take heed and govern ourselves accordingly. If we want justice, we got to pray and stand on the side of justice. We can't want justice, then we join people in committing evil, committing crimes against other people, and using slogans and things that demonstrate that we support evil. No, we can't. If we want justice, we must know that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't want justice and want to do what you want to do against other people. No, you got to follow the same code of justice that you want meted against other people. That's simple learning and education and direction. So our people, our country can be stagnant. The minds of our people can be underdeveloped because that's what our newspapers say. Our human capital index is killing us because no matter what kind of that development we get, the minds of our people, the energy and strength of our people to do things for ourselves is not there. So that is holding us backwards. We can pay attention to what is said and strive to change our community and ourselves, our mentality, or we can live the same way and watch our country die until another civil war erupts. The time of the Liberian people is now. Aluta continua. My class on this topic is done. My class is done. So let's see what the world has got to say about some of the things we got to do somewhere.
few days actually, and this is the spot that you want to come to when you want to indulge in great soul food. Here we offer collard greens, baked macaroni and cheese, we have the fish and grits, shrimp and grits on Sundays of course, and a lot of other soul food norms added with a little bit of our fusion. Chef Summer Duffin is the chef in the kitchen, and just come on down and check us out. You will not regret it.
Well, you know, I strive not to entertain phone calls and all these things on my show because I try to keep my show under an hour. My show is educational and also to help promote businesses in my community. All these ads you see playing, people don't pay me for it. They're my community duty to promote these people. So I don't get money from it because most of them are struggling. We don't have the means to advertise our businesses because our people are small business people. Mom and pop's businesses, they don't have money. So I've always gone out there and tried to promote them. And I have this show. Fortunately, I get some means of support to keep my show going because I gotta pay to have my show going on like this too. So I can go over an hour and all of that, do what I want to do on my show. You gotta pay for that. So I don't get money from these people, but I do it to promote them. They get money, they want to give me a little per diem for helping them. I appreciate it. But I'm not going out there asking for money because we gotta promote ourselves. We gotta seek wealth, man. We gotta seek wealth. And we gotta help each other build wealth. I remember when I came to this country, I didn't have a car. I went and visited my cousin. My cousin had cars. He had a car sitting down. And I told him, I said, oh, my man, you got a car. I felt so good. As soon as I saw he had a car sitting down, I said, now my cousin can give me a car to go to work, to go find me my wealth. Do you know my cousin told me no? My cousin told me I must give him something before he give me that car. Till today, I don't bother with that cousin because he and I grew up together, we were close. He came to America, he changed his mentality. He thought I had money and we're keeping it for him. But that really hurt me. That one of the things that really hurt me. Because foreigners know in this country, if you don't have a car, you have no means of survival in this country. You need a car to survive, to get a good job, to do your business. And my cousin knows that I have a law degree. I came to this country. He got a car sitting down. I said, give me that car. He tell me, no, I'm going to put something down in his hand before he give me it. Do you know what happened years afterwards? The same cousin called me and said, oh, you making money now? After I got on my feet, I got my job. Car wasn't no problem for me. Cash wasn't no problem. Then he called me and said, oh, we must help him support his children. I said, I didn't want you to drop the F-bomb. But I said, are you kidding me? I'm a lawyer. And I'm not a lawyer, practicing law in America today because of my family. I needed money to get my license, to pay the dues I needed to pay to take my exam. I had done everything else. My family tell me I will be above them. I will feel greater than them. They can't help me. Do you know my whole family did that to me? My whole damn family did that to me. My maternal family. My mom's side of the family that I grew up with. The people felt I was going to be more educated to them. I was going to be pompous and proud, so they couldn't give me money. So all the time I spent preparing myself for the bar exam, I couldn't take it at that time. I didn't have the cash. All the cash, I went to law school. I had to read through the courses the coach told me to do. I did all of that. That cost money. And I wasn't working. I was struggling to go to school. The law school I went to, the Catholic school paid my tuition, some of my tuition, because they knew I was struggling But I wanted to do what I wanted to do. They used to see me in class every day. They offer me job to do the computer thing because I was good in computer. I was doing Lexus when Lexus came out. So they pay part of my tuition. I went to the courses, the bar exam, the bar committee in Rhode Island wanted me to take the bar exam. And I satisfied all of that. And I needed the money to take the bar exam now. That when my family let me down. They want a car. You think if I was a lawyer, my family wouldn't get it? But that's the idea that I bring it to you about human capital index. When our people mentalities are low, jealousy, they don't see the light. I wasn't begging money to go to law school. I already had a law degree. I was begging money to practice, to have the right to practice in America. And despite spending all my money to go to law school and everything when I left the military, people couldn't give me money to help me take my bar exam or even give me a car. I couldn't believe that was the extent of wickedness of my people. But you're just learning about wickedness. But the wickedness that I have experienced since 1980 to this very day, you're just experiencing some of it. So now when you're talking about wickedness and evil of our own people, I just look at you and smile and say, you ain't learned nothing yet. It's coming. That's why we got to change our mentalities. Because I'm not a bitter man. I'm not an evil man. You know, I can wear revenge against some of those people. And I still help people. I still help them. I don't even think about what they did to me. I don't think about it. Because that was the will of God. If God did not want me to do all of this, I'll be practicing law. But God did not want me to practice law because I am a very independent man. These people in America will try to put me in jail. Because I've seen this up in the court. I've seen the judges' interaction with lawyers. I'm a black lawyer. I'm going to stand for my rights. I speak out. They were going to try to disbar me, punish me. So God said, no, you don't need all that in this country. You don't need all that. Just do what you got to do. Educate your people and move forward. And those are the things that I'm trying to do for my people. So whether they get it or they don't get it, I know my family didn't get it. They don't get the importance of good leadership, of good direction. And I'm not putting myself down to behave as they want me to behave. I am an educated man. I learned to change our lives and our direction. I didn't learn to come to be the same way our people been from time immemorial. No, I can't accept it. You ostracize me. You put me up. I will pull you up. We'll put each other up. I can't be like that. I'm a man of principles. I'm a man of direction. And I'm a man who believes in what I believe in. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't offer it to you. So when I believe in something and offer it to you as a pathway to your direction, your upliftment, and your life satisfaction, you better know that I've tested it and I believe in it. Or I've seen it and I believe in it. So we don't offer things to people that we don't know will materialize into positive things. That's why I don't entertain people on my show for the hour. This hour is for you to be educated. Life is not about hatred. It's not about revenge. It's not about bitterness. It's about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Those are the components that give you access to better life, livelihood, and existence. Aluta. Continue. My class is done. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. In the bright and early morning, I see you tomorrow.